I don't think you should be scared of her until she decides that she wants to use those powers for.
That's what scares me.
Oh, it's okay. She's not gonna like shrink your junk or anything.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm still kind of on the fence as how it happened. I have an idea. I'm going to keep that to myself.
Hello. So, I don't want to like. Are you all right?
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Did I?
Something just shot through my hand, and it hurt like hell.
Well, it's not George Norrie and it's not Coast to Coast, but I'm Bobby and this is Matt, and we're serving Fringe toast. Tonight we are here with the ladies of Metaphysical Roundtable. It has been quite some time since we've been here. A lot of stuff has happened with these ladies, and their success. Their YouTube channel is growing. It's pretty fantastic. We've had some things that we've experienced in our lives, as a matter of fact, and we're going to talk about all that tonight. But first, I just want to get straight to it. Mm-hmm. Matt has not.
The portal. I haven't heard about the portal yet. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about the portal.
Kind of funny because last weekend when we was recording the promo video, where you laid in the floor, that's basically where it was.
Really?
Yeah. So somebody had told us something, I guess, whenever we reached out for more information. I'm still kind of on the fence as how it happened. I have an idea. I'm going to keep that to myself.
Hello.
Thursday, whenever Jennifer and I was going to come up here to record for the Spirit Realm Network, I was here, and I come in, and I had brought my supper to eat. And as I come in, I heard a little something go, "Sit here and eat." And I was like, "No." And then
like
I was
sit up front,
sit
near
up
the
front.
window.
And then I was like, "No." And then I was like, "I'm not going to sit here and eat on the futon and the window as people walk by and look at me." And I was like, "I'm not doing that." And then I walked a couple more steps, and it was like, "Stand at your cash register and eat." And I'm like, "What the?" And of course, whenever you hear this, you don't understand why, and you think it's just the crazy thoughts in your head that you have all the time, because there's not a distinct godlike voice or this elder voice in your head. It's just, and it's like, "Oh, you're so crazy." And I'm like, "I'm not going to sit up here and eat." So I come back here, and I'm on the phone with one of my friends, and I'm eating. And I had been here probably for about 30 minutes. Didn't feel anything.
But tell them where you were sitting.
I will.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, if you want to tell the story.
No,
you
I
can
didn't
tell
know
the
you were. I
story.
didn't know you were going to get to that. I'm sorry.
Do y'all want to pick a topic Jennifer knows about so she can talk about it?
Excuse me. I don't want to like. Are you all right?
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Did I?
Something just shot through my hand, and it hurt like hell.
Huh?
We're good. Story. Portal.
Is that why the energy's in here so crazy?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's the most sensitive out of all of us. Can you believe that?
Oh, something's crawling back in my head now.
Sorry.
You're supposed to say thank you instead.
Thank you.
Okay.
We didn't apologize for apologizing this time,
Right.
so we're good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So,
making progress.
feel free to keep everything on that side of the room.
That hurt, man.
I'm a little concerned right now.
Matt was not the one. He didn't come in and say, "Look, Charlie Brown, we're just here to play. We're here to do this." So you didn't do your offering.
I didn't. Nope, I didn't. That was my fault.
Yeah.
Please don't do that again.
Take the voodoo doll out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Something.
Okay. So, I was in here for, I don't know, I didn't feel anything. Everything was completely fine. Out of the blue, very loud boom. So and then it was crazy. So the tables were about kind of like behind Matt. I was sitting basically right behind Matt, over that way.
In front of the door.
In front of the door. And so when I was more inside the door while I was eating. And then I was on the phone, and I was like, "I gotta let you go." But whenever it happened, I looked over in this area, and I could see like waves and ripples. But then, it happened all so fast. I was like, what in the world? So nothing had fell in here. I was waiting for the electricity to go out because somebody hit a power pole or something had blew up. It was very much like the roof had caved in. It was extremely loud. Loud. And so I was like, okay. So I was like, probably about 5 or 6 seconds later, I could feel something. And I stood up, and then I went to the door, and then I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I started to ask, my God, Amos Moses, and I was like, nothing. And so then I called in Jesus, and I was like, Jesus, come stand beside me, and that way I feel love and compassion, and I don't feel other things. And then I started going through my mind of all the people to call in, and immediately start protecting me, and here, and I felt the need to call in protection at my house. And so Jennifer was on her way, and I was like, I'm not going to call her.
This is way more frightening
Yeah.
than I remember it
Right?
being from watching it on
Yeah.
the show.
So,
I feel like we did, we were trying to make it playful when we were talking about it on the show. And then we did a live show that night, and we didn't talk about it at all. So it was really weird. We were both just sitting here okay, that happened. And after that is when we started moving around the set. We moved the set over, and then we did some other things, but go ahead.
Yeah, and so I knew Jennifer was going to be here any minute, but I didn't want to call her. One, because I felt the need to stand my ground. So I stood in the door, and I really didn't have any fear because I think it's because I called Jesus, and a lot of people know Jesus, they think he's assigned to a religion, and he's not. So he's for everybody, but he is definitely unconditional love, and I was like, I want some love in my area right now, please. Thank you. And so about that time, I looked up and I saw Jennifer pulling in, and an ambulance was going by. It was kind of real chaotic at the time. So then I think I had just called her. I don't know. I think I did call you.
Yeah.
And
I was like, I'm here.
Yeah. I wanted to catch her before she came in and brought all her stuff in, because she brings a lot of things in.
Pack right.
So
yeah.
I don't know. It was weird, all the things that stuck out in my mind. One was to call Jesus for love, do the protection around me, do the protection around my son because he was at home by himself, and to get Jennifer before she came in. And so I went out there, and I think she could probably tell, and I was like, we gotta do something. Wait a minute before you start bringing stuff in.
It's good because usually I come in and I've just gotten off of I-20 and I'm just full of just the So I come in and I'm just talking to her about all the stuff that either has that I've thought about on the way here, or the weirdos, just the total fuck ups on. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that okay? On I-20, and I'm just I come in and I'm just full of energy and just and I don't shut up for a good 4 or 5 minutes. So, okay, now that. Are you saying I talk longer than that?
No, I just like to be a robot.
So anyway, heifer. So she comes out there, and I'm still just talking. But I feel like if she had not caught me out there, I would have come in here with all my portable hoarding stuff, and I would have just been talking, and it would have taken me a long time to feel what was here.
Yeah.
It would have taken me a really long time to figure it out, because I'm standing out there and she goes, something's wrong, and I immediately was like, okay, where, what, and then I started looking, and all the guides were outside of the store. Our guides were with us, but they were outside of the store. And I was like, okay. And then I'm looking in the store, and I look over at our guides who are all standing there, and I was like, what's up? The ghosts weren't in here. Charlie Brown, the 2 kids, we think there's children energy upstairs, And there's a lady that comes in and out from time to time. But the man that we call Charlie Brown and the kids are like always here. And they weren't here. Like there was nothing here. And I've gotten so used to them being here that now it's creepy to me for them not to be here. You know, does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm standing there and she's like, what is it? What do you see? And I was like, the ghosts aren't in there. But then I was like, I don't know if I said it outside because I remember coming in like I needed to make sure that I wasn't crazy. And so I came in and I was like, the ghosts aren't in here. But then I realized we were coming back into the store and our guides were still outside. They weren't coming into the store. They were standing on the sidewalk. They weren't coming in. So we come back here and Rachel and I are just like, she's like, do you feel this? Do you feel this? And she is a really, really good clairsentient because now I just rely so heavily on visual that I don't rely on the feeling as much. And I think that's wrong. I think that everybody should rely on the feeling more, you know? And so she's like, it's right here. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was so weird. So then we started, we started some processes. Mm-hmm. And Rachel got out her drum. And I took the creosote. And we were clearing and cleansing, but I didn't want to go up in the attic. And you know, it just startles me when she says that she's scared of stuff because she's so brave in the moment. She's so fearless. And she's like, oh no, it's fine.
She's typically your pillar of like,
yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, all right, we're going up in the attic. She says we're going up in the attic. So we went up in the attic, and it's still freaking me out because our guides are outside. They haven't, like, come in yet. So we go up there, and it was weird up there.
It was, yeah.
It was, like, weird. Mm-hmm. I don't really know, how do you describe that kind of weird?
Well, even whenever I was in here, so I'm like a real bad mama bear, a mama hen, and even whenever I was waiting on Jennifer to get here, I was like, I don't mind anybody being here, but you disrespected me and I have boundaries and this is not cool. So I went into that whole little speech. And whenever I was going up in the attic, that is very much how I felt, because when you go up the steps, it's very narrow and
steep.
Yeah, and steep. And then when you go up,
I heard something a minute ago, but I wasn't going to say anything.
The ceiling is very, very low, and then so there was a fire here at one point, so you can see some charred beams, and so it's just really kind of there's that creepy factor anyway.
Right, but it's almost like you've gotten used to it.
Right, but
so,
right here in the middle is where the air conditioner is.
You don't know what it is either?
I don't know which mic it is, and that's killing me. Somebody's tapping a mic.
No, it's the kids.
Okay, well...
I'm sorry.
No, I don't care.
I mean,
it's cool.
Yeah.
I kept hearing it. It's just every once in a while it'll go, just really gently.
Because they're playing.
I wish I knew which mic it was.
They never came down here when we recorded our podcast, so this is like kind of new equipment for them to play with.
Oh.
They came down here after we did the investigation because that lady on Spirit Realm found them or saw the thing.
Time out. Let's fix that.
But I wish that I wish I could draw a picture of the feeling that I got when we went up in the attic that night. You know, that was like freaky.
Are you really just like stalking the store?
Yeah.
Do you live like back behind?
Yeah.
Do you live downstairs?
I haven't.
He lives in that creepy cellar. Yeah.
Do you live in a well?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I happen to have a well.
It's creepy.
Are you sure it's not a tunnel underneath the
Do
city?
you know where the well is?
Yes.
Probably, like, I don't know, but it's probably smack dab in this area right here.
Yeah, right where the
That's heavy shit.
Right
We need
where
to be
the
holding
stuff.
this. We need to be holding this. We just need to all be quiet. Until
That's
we're done.
that's why Glenda had to close it, because she was like, it's still open.
Can we get to it?
Yeah, and y'all go right ahead and do that, and I'll stand outside and guard for you.
That's cool.
I'm not going down there.
Yeah.
It would work for that
Yeah,
film.
it's
Already hard enough going up into the attic.
But like that loud boom, what was so weird about that is before I moved in with Todd, I mean, we've been together 20 years. But before I moved in, his ex-girlfriend lived there forever. And the mom, everybody lived there. And they heard these loud booms before. And his mom, I mean, I even told her, I remember her talking about it because she didn't know what it was. She thought the house was like falling in because, I mean, it's just extremely loud. And she was like, it sounded like somebody was just on the top as high as they could get and just jump in the middle of the floor. And so now that they tell me that, I'm like, huh.
I know.
Huh, yeah.
And the fact that there's a well, like, located, again, right below where this was. And it was just really, really weird. Like, going upstairs into the attic, like I said, I wish that I could draw a picture of the feeling that was up there. It was weird. Why?
Because we're going to record about it.
Oh my gosh,
We're still
sorry.
recording. We never stopped.
I know, but I mean, are you going to piece it together?
I don't know. Are you going to piece it together?
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
It was really...
Because there's been some solid gold stuff said at this table since we stopped.
That's why I didn't quit.
Well,
Never turned anything off.
upstairs in the attic is creepy. Okay, it's creepy.
I believe
it's
you.
Weird.
I seen you guys on the Halloween episode when you went
Mm-hmm.
and explored everything. You hit your noggin when you was up there.
Yeah,
Got her candle blown out.
Got her candle blown out.
because he was messing with me. I was still not used to Charlie Brown at that point, and he was messing with me. There was no wind in here. There was no draft, and my candle starts moving, and I was like, "You better cut that shit out." And then what?
Did it do it again?
No. It just reminded me of a story.
You tripping
And
me
I was
out,
just
bro.
Sorry. Okay, so when something triggers in my head, I always have this big thing. So sorry.
Yeah,
Keep
no.
going.
But I want to hear about this. But we went up in the attic that night, and it was like a vacuum. It was how I would imagine being on the moon with no, like...
Was it more like a dream?
With, like, weightless. No, it was like a vacuum. It was like a vacuum I don't know how to describe it. It's how I picture or how I imagine being on the moon because there's nothing, to hold
no
you down.
atmosphere,
Yeah,
there's
there's nothing. There's no gravity. There's no, nothing to hold you down. It's just, and no oxygen. It felt weird.
Yeah.
Cold, desolate land.
Well, so the AC duct is like the whole unit is basically right in the middle. So it's like this is like the good side, and then because you have to kind of scooch back past the duct and the AC thing, and that is like dark corners over there, and that's where it's like that's where it is, that's where it's going, that's where, because whenever we started to, because I had the drum and Jennifer was sage or smudging, so we went a particular pattern, and then so we had to go up there and we had to go back in the corner.
So do you think that it was intelligent enough to be like, oh, they coming?
Yes. I think it was moving. Yeah, and because we looked at each other and we were like, do we really have to go up there? And we took the same class with this lady, with Glenda, and we were both like, I was like, I don't want to go up there. But yeah, so, because Rachel was like, we need to go up there. And I'm just like, ugh. Okay,
yeah.
We're doing it. So
this part, like you can tell the drop ceiling. So that part is higher, this part is lower, and so it runs the whole length of the store. And I did not feel like we had to crawl up there above that. It was just the point of going back there. And I think that is significant also because it was almost like, because I know I'm nervous about things, and I know she's nervous about things, so I think it was very much something, a confidence booster. So
yes.
Hang on, all right, I'll be back.
Okay, so this is your only condenser mic?
Yeah.
Are you still getting weird stuff coming out of there?
No, not anymore. Not yet. I got some weird a minute ago, but it could have just been something else. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. It tripped me out enough to where I was like, I don't want these on my head anymore.
There's been some. I'm interesting to hear. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna give you the audio, obviously, but then I'm gonna mess with it and see what I can get out of it.
I feel like some of it's gonna be different when you play it back.
I think so.
Other point that I want to say about being upstairs is it was totally different up there, different feeling. Jennifer really couldn't see third eye wise, you know, she could see. And so as we started to drum and do the smudge, you was saying that it got clearer.
Yeah, because when we walked upstairs, even with the lights that we were shining, it was like trying to look through. It was trying to look through this microphone. It was black, and you couldn't.
Like
you knew
underwater?
something was there, but you couldn't see past it.
Like
you know?
a density.
Yeah.
Like that black mass that people talk about, very thick, and so like a saturation.
Mm-hmm. It was really weird. So then Rachel's up there with her drum. I was doing the creosote, and I'd been doing breath work like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were clearing, because we've cleared some places together before, and it works out really well with the drum and like whatever smudge that we're using at that time. And I use breath work, and so I pull the energy out and then I push it into like the next room, sort of trying to push it out. And we were up there and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't, like I felt like I couldn't breathe it in. I was trying and I was like, I can't. It was weird. It was really weird.
Is that whenever you started to breathe it in and blow it right into the drum? Or
Yeah.
did you do that down here
No,
too?
I did that up there. I was like blowing right into the drum because I was just like, this is not good. This is not good.
Like saffron gasoline?
Are you familiar with the shadow people thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that sounds like to me. Because I was reading about a shadow people that's exactly what they do. They just suck everything out, and that's exactly what it sounds like.
It was definitely, and I was just like, oh, you know. And then we were talking about whether we should go down into the basement.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm gonna have to say a big no on that. I mean, and
should have done it.
I know, but we got it all out the front door. And we were like sweeping it out and pushing it out. We got it out the front door, and then we did one more like big clear. And as soon as we did, the guides came back in.
But wait a minute. Tell them how my guide was looking. Because remember you were saying that my guide looked different?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, because there's several like, you know, around. And but one of her guides too was, and that's when he was standing out there and he was looking, it was like he was looking for something too, and he looked really weird, like he had almost like a different color on him. I don't know, it was almost like, was I saying he was jaundiced?
Or that
it was
he
like,
was like withered, like he had withered up in different colors.
yeah, and I'm like, and he kept looking, and I was like, what is going on with this? And it was just so, it was like being in a fun house. Like the guides were in a fun house, and it was messing them up. And so then when we got them out, they came in, and as soon as they came in, their colors changed. He got like plumper, less jaundicey, and they were like, it was better because then they could be with us. And like, it wasn't even like a minute later and the ghost came back. So it was, because but he kept saying, Charlie Brown kept saying he couldn't see us. Like outside, like he could, when it was like he couldn't see the building. And so when he was sort of around, because he kind of hangs out in all these buildings, but he couldn't see the building. And so when he came back in, he said that he saw Rachel come out, and that's when he saw her. But he couldn't see us in here, and he couldn't see the building. So he couldn't come back in.
That sounds a lot like a shadow people thing to me.
It was
like
really messed up.
You can say
And yeah, but you know, we got and so
Yes, he has never heard anything.
Okay, it's because I'm trying not to say those words in front of thing 1 and thing 2 because they're repeating them. And, 5 and 7 probably shouldn't be dropping the F-bomb, when they drop their pudding at school.
As long as they use it in context, I'm okay.
Right. So then we came back in and we're talking about it and we're just like,
What the hell was that?
Yeah, it was like really, really weird because the energy just totally shifted in here. And Rachel was like, I don't see the rippling anymore. I don't feel that. So we called Glenda and she said it was still open. So she went through and closed it.
Right. Well, at that point, we really didn't know what it was.
Yes, that's true.
We didn't know what it was. We just knew.
It was off.
We just knew it was
bad
messed up.
Yeah, and that's whenever she was like,
uncomfortable.
yes, this is what it was. And then, go ahead.
And it was just like, we were both just like talking at the same time to her going, what is this? What is this? And she goes, okay, there's still something there. So she was like, I'm closing it up. And we were like, okay. I mean, and then we had to get ready for the show. And so we're doing the show and we're just like glassy eyed, just like, hi everybody, how are you? Like,
and I still don't think we talked about it until we left here.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think once we got like down the road, I think I called in our weeks like, what the hell was that?
And then like that next Monday is when we were like, okay, well, let's talk about this on the podcast. And it was really intense. Yeah, it was intense.
Like y'all kind of had to go to war.
That's exactly how I felt. Like this, and this is what I told them.
Because there's a task that has to be done, and then you know nothing but to act, and then it's done.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing that I've kind of been nervous about, because. Not that I don't. Okay, so I believe whatever you bring or put your awareness to, that's what comes. So it's like I not that I wanted to be all love and light because I know there is darkness. I was just like, I just don't know if I'm, because a lot of times it's not our stuff that we have to do. Because like if we're clearing our house and something there, then that's us. But if we're going and clearing somebody else's house that has babies and kids, then you want to be 120% sure, because a lot of these people, they think it's mental illness. One partner or spouse isn't believing them. They feel like they're crazy. So I just want to make sure like they know you're not crazy. This is legit and this is what we can do. So that's where I was kind of like hesitant. And so since I don't really do this heaviest stuff, I was kind of unsure. But once I stood back and realized that as soon as I walked in, they were like, hey, eat here, eat, So I'm like, no, you'll get the signs and it will be fine. And so that's one reason why I really wasn't freaked out. Go ahead.
Well, you said earlier that it was an uplifting experience and it was a growing experience.
Yes.
And it was you come to the knowledge that in the event that something like this occurs, you can handle it.
Okay, yes, but I usually have to be sort of forced into stuff like that because I am a lot like Rachel. I know there's a lot of darkness out there, but what I like to do is point people towards light. So even somebody that I used to work with accused me of being like a Pollyanna, like reading for people and just going, oh my gosh, no, it's gonna be great. No, I'm not just like blowing sunshine up everybody's ass. I'm really just trying to give them something positive to focus on, so that it keeps them from camping out in a dark place, because sometimes that's all you need is just that tiny little, little bit of light to show you. So I don't necessarily like to involve myself in these kind of things because it's not that I don't believe that they exist. It's just that if I don't entertain it or if I don't acknowledge it, then it's not in my area. But
Doesn't that give it more power if you just ignore it?
Well,
No, because
No.
we address it. Because we have somebody, we say, need to call Glenda. and if anybody says,
Hi,
oh, this is
Glenda.
going on, it's like, yeah, you need to call Glenda.
yeah, better call Saul.
Yeah. So call Glenda, and she will help you with that. And and it's not that we're afraid of it, or it's not that I'm afraid of it.
I
I'm
am.
respectful of it.
No, I'm afraid of it.
Yeah, I'm respectful of it because there is so much that I don't know. It's just like with crystals, I have a passion for crystals, so I don't mind learning, and I want to learn, and it's fine. But with that, I don't know, not that I'm not interested in it, but, they can call Glenda. But I will help you in an emergency situation, and we'll figure out what it is.
Well, in this particular case, this is an extension of your home.
Yes.
This is and this
Right.
is your home front. So y'all kind of banded together and ran into the fire, so to speak.
But it's great too because it also
Huh?
They're hitting the mic again.
Oh.
Are they?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
even
she
like
wants
when
to hear.
all that was going on, I asked Jennifer, I was like, do I need to go home? I was going to go home and get TJ. So.
But see, it wasn't. I mean, I think that it was more or less to show us, or maybe it was just to show me, because like I said, she's fearless, and yeah, I hear them. But it's to show us what we can do, what we're capable of doing, and that we can approach these things with the knowledge that we have, and we're okay. Like, we don't have to go and get a PhD in some kind of weird,
Demonology
yeah.
or
I
something.
mean, to be able to do this, we can do things, but just exploring just anything going outside of your comfort zone, anything like that is scary as hell.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you're just because I was
especially if you especially if you have a full frontal belief in it. Like if it's something that you're kind of you don't have an education about it, it's kind of you can wander into it as in obliviousness is bliss. What is the term I'm looking for? What's bliss?
ignorance is bliss.
There we go. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I've always relied heavily on that.
Right. So you wander into these occasions, and most of the times you come out of it unscathed. But if you're full frontal of understanding of the severity of the issue, it can be frightening.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of it's the same thing that we would teach if it was tarot, psychic development. Just go and start, and everything will come to you as needed. You will be divinely guided. It'll all come to you. So, we teach that whenever we're teaching these other things. But whenever it was uncomfortable, it was hard for us to remember, just do it. It'll all be given to you. It's all, you'll be divinely guided. It'll all work out because... Again, it's like, if you're teaching somebody to swim and they jump off the diving board, they master that. And then they go up one a little bit higher. Then they go to the high dive. And we was at the high dive jumping into a glass of water. And
yeah.
So, but we did it.
We
lived.
Yeah, but I tell you, I got so used to the ghosts here. And then when I walked back here, walking into the store and I'm like, the ghosts aren't here. I didn't think that I would miss them. But it really creeped me out when our guides were out there and wouldn't come in. And they were just standing there looking at us.
Yeah, because you had said that about your grandmother. That was the first time that there was a separation.
Yeah, and I was just like, why aren't you in here? And then all of a sudden they start throwing instructions at me. And I'm like, Rachel, where's your drum? We need to open up some of the creosote. We need to get to work. And she's just like, yep, I'm on it. Let's go. And I'm just like, how is she okay with this? And so then we start doing just like what we did when we cleared people's houses. We started just going through everything, and we did do a clean sweep and got everything out the front door. But that attic, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so whenever we called Glenda, and then she's like, yeah. So she had said that something was opened and things were sent here. And whatever, I don't know, say dimension or what area, whatever, so a particular place, a particular portal was opened, I guess, for a certain location. So there were things that sent to this portal. So.
And
Well,
I think
that sounds like there was intent there,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I don't want to think those things, but
and that's what she was like. She goes, I didn't want to think that this was like an intentional thing. I was hoping it was done by accident. But there's that well underneath the property, which is an open,
it would have been really good to get some EMF readings at the time that was going on, because I bet that would have been.
I'm like, you can do that anytime. Just like haul your cookies up into the attic. I mean,
I'm more interested in the well. I'm gonna go and check that out because water always attracts.
Well, yeah, right. So water creates a current, an EMF current. So like, it will set. More than likely, you could find the location of that well just by pulling out an EMF meter and reading it. But it would have been really interesting to see how crazy it
So,
got.
Bobby, whenever you said that, that reminds me of this. It's like if somebody is in a car accident and they go to the emergency room and their arms and legs are severed, and then like they're trying to sew everything in. Here comes Bobby with the insurance paperwork. Like, I know y'all are in an emergency right now, but let's. Do you have insurance? Can I see your driver's license? Like, we were not thinking about EMF at that time.
we were just thinking about like what are the next steps, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like getting
Do you see 'em?
instructions
Do you
thrown at
see
me,
'em? You
and
know?
I'm like, okay, so
You know?
we got to do this, and
Like
Rachel's
she,
just like,
yeah,
yep,
she
on
was
it.
my EMF because I knew as long as like she wasn't stroking out or having a heart attack, she wasn't seeing anything too crazy. So I was. Yeah,
But it was
so, yeah.
weird to just not see.
I
Like,
didn't mean to be insensitive.
anything.
to
Oh, no,
the
you're
No,
not,
it's
but
situation.
funny
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But leave it to the Libra to like,
Yeah.
come out. So funny.
Yeah,
Oh my
no.
gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so great because earth, wind, water, and fire, we're the 4 elements. How did that happen?
Activate.
Activate what?
I don't know.
Don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
This is real. That's
Yeah.
really fun. We're like the 4 corners here.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. And then I'll have to do your charts and see what your rising and moon signs
Oh,
are.
my wife and I did it. I don't remember what it is, but I have it on my phone. I can show you.
Yeah.
Oh my
when
gosh.
we're done.
So cool.
Yeah, so speaking of, my wife has decided to accept her inner witch, and I swear to God, she scares me now.
Yeah.
Like, scares the shit out of me now. So I was at the optometrist, and I've got horrible eye problems. Like, I had a almost total retina tear in the left eye. I've had a lot of tears in the right eye. Well, we went in to look because I've been having vision problems. And the optometrist is like, yeah, there's another tear. You've got to get in. It's got to get fixed. So my wife and I are flipping out because if I lose my right eye, I'm done. So the whole ride up there when we're going to the retina doctor, my wife is just doing this chant that everything is going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Swear to God, we get in there. He gets it looked at. I look at the scans from both the optometrist and the retina doctor. They're totally different. He looks at it and goes, there's nothing wrong. Nothing. Not a thing. I don't know what the optometrist saw, but there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't think you should be scared of her until she decides that she wants to use those powers for.
That's what scares me.
Oh, it's okay. She's not gonna like shrink your junk or anything.
I mean, I don't
No,
know. She get revengeful.
No. Because like if you're really in the craft, you're not gonna put that kind of energy out. Because you get like, you want to put out like good healing energy and all that, so that because it all comes back to you. So because I wanted to teach a kitchen witch class, but it turned into metaphysical practices, which I do like twice a month at the Friday before the new moon and the Friday before the full moon.
Oh, boom.
Yes.
Okay, so that's perfect opportunity for you to tell them about their new moon ceremony. Is that what you?
Yeah. So I'm like, we have a new moon on Friday, like next Friday, and I was like, I was like, we should just do, a live then, and I was like, maybe I can get my friend Rachel to come on with her drum. And then she was like, well, we just need to do like the whole ritual, like a new moon ritual and make it into a live. And then like then we started talking more, and we're doing this all on our podcast, like live in front of people. And so we were like, well, we'll just invite people. And then now we're just trying to figure out a place to do it.
Right.
Like Friday night. Because
So
I think that would be fun. And it would be really fun if somebody wanted to come and record it.
We can do that.
And
Absolutely.
and then you could bring your wife up here. We could do. I mean, because I am fascinated by Rachel's drum, and even though she, and I've said this before, she assures me you don't have to be Ringo Starr to but my hand-eye coordination. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me walk with a drink in my hand. Well, I'll just do the breath work.
Yeah. So, just to keep up with everything, Todd said that the AC is leaking through the ceiling, and it wasn't doing that before.
Oh, okay. So there's energy, because energy will destroy stuff. Because my my friend and my longtime client passed away a couple of weeks ago, and the night that she passed away, I was in a reading. I was in a Zoom reading, like when she actually passed away. And I have fluorescent lights like this in my office, and they all went out. Like in the office that I'm in the room next door to it, they all blew. And my internet went out. I had to put my thing on the hotspot to finish my reading on Zoom. And I was just like, wow, I wonder who I pissed off. I was joking, and I was just like, that is so weird. And I was like, I knew there was like something extra there, but they haven't worked since then. I know. And Dr. Seuss was like, I don't know what you did, but you did something. It's like when you touch the computers, you did something in here. And I was just like, yeah, I won't give you the rude gesture that I gave to him, or the rude words that I gave to him, because I do mess up computers a lot just by touching them.
Well, I was just saying, I think we're going to go up there and figure out why it's leaking.
Oh, no. I mean, y'all can go. I will absolutely stand guard for you. Me and
You will
TJ
cheerlead.
can stand right
Go,
here.
go.
I'm okay with that.
You're gonna be like Scooby
And
Doo
maybe
and
that's
Shaggy
why it's
down
been
here
so
by yourself.
maybe that's why it's been so warm in here. Well, okay, the last time, this is before Charlie Brown and I developed a relationship, he thought it was funny to blow out the candle, and then I was just like, nope, and I went flying up the stairs, forgot that the roof was low, and hit my head. I mean, hand-eye coordination, people, it's not there.
So you were talking about the candle. This
Yeah.
just happened the other night, like yesterday. We were putting my daughter to bed. We got her this new little picture poster thing with a frame, and it just starts swinging back and forth like this. And my wife goes, "Did you touch that?" And I was in the other room. How was I going to touch it? She goes, "Nobody touched it." And it just starts swinging on its own. Okay, well, baby, they're trying to prove to you that they're here. That's what I keep telling her. Because she's like, "Oh, there's nothing in the house." I'm like, "Sweetie, they're trying to prove to you that they're here. The thumbtacks, the glass, the picture."
The lights,
Was your
The
daughter
lights.
was your daughter asleep
the
yet?
knives.
No, everybody was awake
I
still.
feel like they were trying to entertain her too.
Probably.
Because there's one guy around your daughter that has a massive sense of humor.
His name wouldn't happen to be Spencer, would it?
I don't know.
If you can
but
get a
he
name, I'll bet that's who it
laughs
is.
A lot. I don't get names. I don't know if it's because I butcher names or because I'm not good with names. But like, I just call them things like the brown lady that I see with Rachel all the time. I mean, she's not. I think she's a Native American, but she's just always in brown, and her skin's kind of brown, and her hair's like brown and long, and yeah. But it's straight. It's straight like mine, because I'm so jealous of her curls. Heifer. I know. But no, I think that man that's with her is just like, he's just like laughing. There's going to be more coming up with that. Like, he's going to make her laugh by doing, like, I don't know how to say this, like, spirit farts. Like, he's
That
going
sounds
to be
right
able
for
to
my
make
daughter.
noises, and she's just going to be sitting there laughing like, that's great.
Yep, that makes sense.
How old is she?
She's 9. So
Yeah.
so I'm glad you said that. No kidding. It was 2 Christmases ago. We let her have a little Alexa in her room because she wanted to listen to music. She downloaded a song called Jingle Bell Farts for $10. So it's funny that you say that because, yeah,
I mean,
that's what she does. So, and it's exactly what you would think it would be.
Well, that's good. Because even at 29, I still think farts are funny.
Absolutely. They're always funny.
As long as nobody's doing them and it's, gagging me out.
Then it's even funnier.
Right?
let's lock the windows.
All right, I'm shaving the years off of mine too.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, if you're
Yeah.
if you're 29, then that makes me 33.
Oh, if we can do that, then I'm 20. Hell,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
33 was a pretty good year.
Oh, God, no.
Well, I get my driver's license this week, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh yeah, y'all are gonna be doing a lot of editing.
Not me. You decided to take this
Oh,
one.
yeah, this is Bobby's going to the editing for tonight.
okay. So really, I wanted to congratulate y'all on reaching 100 subscribers. That's fantastic, fantastic news, and your growth, both with Metaphysical Roundtable and with Realistic Holistic. You're getting close to being ready to I don't
Be
know.
legit.
Be
Relaunch.
legit,
Be
as
legit,
you
yeah.
as you said the other
She's
day.
gonna,
I thought she was
she's gonna
already
be
there.
too legit
Yeah.
to quit. But no, but yeah, it's gonna be like a massive relaunch.
I think
We
you're
need
right.
real champagne, or you know,
Donuts is fine with me.
Donuts is good. Brownies, yeah, okay.
Special brownies. That's what we need. Just saying.
CBD brownies.
Yes, we'll call them that.
But no, that would just be a massive relaunch, and because she's talking about doing a psychic fair where she might let somebody read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think that you'll allow her to read it?
I don't know. She's kind of shy. I don't know if we can do something to get her out of her shell to talk to people. So,
I know it's so hard,
Yeah.
so hard. That's what she
yeah.
said.
Actually, I was thinking about probably doing like her own office or something upstairs. That would be cool.
I'll read out on the sidewalk before. I'm not going. I'm not. No.
I know, but the other funny story. Okay, so like now it's hot in here. So this time last July, it was really hot in here too.
Yeah.
And so I thought that, because it's a fairly new AC system, so I thought something had come loose, the ductwork had come loose, and that's whenever Neve was here with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go up in the attic to check to see if the duct had come off. And so I went up there and I was like, yeah, it's off. I was like, it's freezing up here. It is so damn cold up here. And I was like, the ductwork is off. And then, because that's the reason why it was getting hot down here and freezing up there, because the ductwork's off in my mind. So then I called and I was like, told the landlord, I was like, hey, something's wrong with the AC unit. And then they came back out and said, oh yeah, it was really, really low on Freon. It just needed to be charged. I was like, so there's no ductwork off upstairs? And then she's like, no. And I'm like, huh, the attic in mid-July and it freezing cold.
In the attic.
In the attic, yeah.
It's
No.
never warm up there.
That sounds like the perfect place to host a show to me.
I know.
Well, then y'all go right ahead and do that, and
I
I will Skype in.
You're going to zoom in?
I will zoom in.
You don't want to go up there?
I don't enjoy it up there. I have been up there several times now, helping move around tables, whacking my head on the ceiling, clearing out a corner. It is not my favorite place to be. It is not the Disney World of attics.
Yeah. So that just reminded me, because whenever we was filming last weekend, I noticed it again. But so upstairs, there's like a plaster on the wall, and it's falling apart. One day I was out there and I noticed a little bitty piece on the table, and then whenever we were there, I was showing you that, I think, and then I was like, here's another piece. So there's no way I could have accidentally brought that plaster from up there down there on that table. So I was like, it's like, okay.
But the kids are getting more bold.
So
Because they were very, very reclusive. And because they spend a lot of time next door. But there's something going on with the rats over there that they're like
Freaking out?
not freaking out. I just don't like that. They're just not enjoying it as much. So I wonder if they've like completely repopulated over there.
Oh, I'm sure that's what rats do, and there's a perfect I mean, yeah. That's going to be like a horror movie for sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Not with rats. No,
Not with rats?
No, don't do rats.
Yeah.
No rats.
That's where y'all need to go do a show.
Not with rats.
Jane says. Yeah. But it's for sure. I mean, but they hang out over there, but they're over here more and more, it feels like.
I think that's who's been messing with our mic tonight. I want to see if we can pull that out, but
I bet we could.
You may even hear some laughter.
yeah.
I don't know. I've been hearing some strange stuff, so I'm curious to see what we get, if we get anything.
Yeah.
I like it. I know. Welcome to Realistic Holistic in the heart of Villa Rica.
But even last Saturday, whenever we were here, Elaine next door came over, and she was like, I need to talk to you. And so, because she had a new spirit that was over there. And whenever I came today, I walked over there and I said, how is it? And she goes, oh, thank you for getting rid of them. I was like, I didn't do that. I said, you did that. So, because it was kind of, I don't know, intimidating her. It was kind of freaking her out. So yeah, this is a house. And I think you had even said that this area, that you know the people that own the other buildings?
Yes.
And that it's real active everywhere?
Yeah, it's Mike says it's very, very active on this next building over.
The one down? Like
Yes.
behind
down and to the left.
Yeah, that night that me and Kat and Rachel were trolling around and we started walking down, I was like, nope, I'm not going down there. No,
Yeah.
It's because we just like opened ourselves up and I was starting to see them all over the place and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going down there.
Yeah. Well, so there's a new business down there in that end. And last Saturday, Elaine and I went in there and met the guy. And, you know, we were talking to him and I was like, well, let me know whenever shit gets weird in here. Call me. And he goes, okay, I will. He said, my wife's already mentioned it. And I thought,
Yeah, Mike, my other co-host, he used to run a vape shop that was located on that end, and his family owns that whole section. And he says, like, all the time, like constantly. He's even stayed the night over there, and they get way more active at night. Yeah, I don't know that we can manage it, but I'd really love to do an investigation over there.
Absolutely.
The idea is actually for them to join us along with Fox Family Paranormal if possible. But I don't know that we're going to swing that. I'm just whispering into the wind, hoping that it's going to happen.
why? Fox won't do it?
Well, I don't know that we would have access, right? Because there's tenants in all of those facilities, so we'd probably more than likely have to talk to them and be like, hey, you know, this
They
is
may
what we
be
want to
open
do.
to
Yeah.
it, especially for promoting their store.
Yeah.
Right, maybe so. We can talk to them, find out.
He seemed pretty open to it. I know the lady who manages this property, they've managed pretty much all of them, and they all have issues. Or they all have visitors. They all have, so.
I wonder if that has something to do with that explosion way back when here.
Well, that happened on the other side of the tracks, but
I mean, they wouldn't be bound to that necessarily, would they?
absolutely, the people that were affected by that could still be roaming around this town.
Yeah.
Guess what? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think Rachel should do like a ghost walking tour just through Villa Rica, because I don't know shit about Villa Rica, but she knows god dang everything about this area. And but when she asked Charlie Brown if she had seen his grave, and he said he didn't have a proper grave.
Just had a headstone?
Yeah, he must have like a headstone or a plaque or something. He doesn't have a proper grave. And I was like, and then she said, well, what does that mean? Because I was thinking the same thing. And he was like, there wasn't enough of him.
Oh.
So we didn't know. I was like,
that's what it is then.
we didn't know
Makes
what
sense.
that was.
Yeah. Well, I think I asked if he was involved in the explosion, and didn't he say no? I don't know. We need to get
can't-
Gretchen
yeah.
out here.
Because I was like, he doesn't like to talk about that.
Yeah. I'm sure it probably is a touchy subject.
And I was just like, I don't know how to push. I don't know how to ask the right questions. So I just usually go, okay, I'm sorry, just
but it's
go
just,
back to playing checkers.
Yeah, and again, that's like that dark area I don't want to go. But I also feel like, they know about us. I'd like to know about them just, because I want to know their history. I don't want to know, like, if they were alcoholics or had, I don't want to know, like, stuff they keep in the closet, but just what's your history,
But she asked very, like, she's, like, so nice, and she has such clean energy coming in. And so I feel like they're just so incredibly responsive. And we had actually talked about doing some channeling, and I was like, oh, because it would be really cool, like, to ask questions, like, through her, because she's much better at it than I am. I like just really
it seemed very apparent during your trip to Gettysburg that you were pretty skilled at doing investigations, and talking to the dead.
Yes. I don't mind it as long as I know I have somebody here. And then, Todd, I want him to get familiar with how it is. I don't want to say like an early indicator, but just so he knows. Because now that I look back on like one particular time, this was something that was going on and I wasn't aware of it. So I'm like, hey, remember this? Guess what? So.
And I think it's a lot of her shaman training. It's not all of it. I think honestly she was just born with this. But I think the shaman training really helped polish it up.
I don't have multiple personalities.
She's such a heifer. And yeah, you do. But
I have multiple God personalities. I know, right? But she was trying to teach me about the hollow bone thing, which I'm still trying to grasp. But
what's a hollow bone thing?
So a hollow bone is whenever, so that's whenever you go into a situation and you don't want to absorb anything, you just want to be a clear channel. So the old verbiage is a hollow bone. You're just a hollow bone. You just allow things to pass through. And so I was like, how can I do that? Because I'm so emotional. But now I realize what that emotion is, and I'm feeling it from everything. And I'm the worst at funerals. Like, I would go to a funeral, and I'm thinking, everybody, like, I want to be supportive of my friend who just lost their family member, but then I also don't want their family member to think, who is this babbling idiot up there? She didn't know any of these people, but now I understand why I'm such emotions. And then so Todd had a friend who had a baby that passed away, and we went to the funeral, and I was like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? How can I, like, I don't want to be the babbling idiot because that's not going to help anybody. So I set my attention, and I was like, just allow me to be the hollow bone and just send out healing energy at the graveside service. And I stood there, and I did not cry, not once. And that's whenever I realized, I was like, wow, this works.
I'm still struggling with it because usually I'm like that at funerals, and I always thought it was because, like, you're an empath and you're feeling everybody's grief around you, and I like puddle up really quickly. I'm just like, boo-hooing to beat the band. I mean, this could be like my fourth cousin twice removed, and it's there, and I'm like, but. So I was trying that at my friend's funeral, and her passing wasn't a surprise. I mean, she dealt with cancer like twice. It came back, and she was in her 70s, and so I'm at the funeral, and I was there with another medium, and I started feeling all the energy. And when I feel a lot of energy, if I'm sitting down, y'all notice like my legs bounce all the time. And I try not to do it because it was moving our cameras and stuff. Like, I would go back and watch our stuff, and there's like this little.
It looks like there's an earthquake.
Yeah, yes. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Let her start falling.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, oopsie. but it also does it like with my jaw. So people will think that I'm cold, and like Dr. Seuss noticed it first, and he was like, "Are you cold?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, your teeth will start chattering.
And he noticed it years ago when we were still in Denver, and he was like, "Well, either you're in pain or you're feeling a lot of energy." And I was just like, "Well, I'm not hurting." So my teeth start, and then I'm just like, "Oh God, all right." So that started at the funeral home, and I was just like getting inundated, and I was like, "Okay, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this?" And I was trying to do the hollow bone thing. I need to practice more because I could still feel it, but it wasn't as intense. And like I got through the service pretty decently. Yeah. Like I got through the service with my eyelashes on. So that was good, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, even with you having that experience, so like with your teeth chattering, I know it's like, okay, shit's getting real, you know. And but I do a lot with my mouth, like with just like chewing on my lips, because I feel it all right here, like between here and here, I feel it. But whenever I was in Gettysburg, my teeth started chattering, and I wouldn't have known that that's what was going on if it wasn't for like, you know, knowing with you doing yours. So
You even had a difficult time speaking.
Yes.
After some of the investigation.
Yeah, after I was able, or I allowed them to speak, it took my voice. I feel like I was very, very limited, you know, with talking, and I could only say one or two words.
What's her name?
Courtney.
Courtney. Yeah, she's the one that addressed that.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah, and even like whenever I went back, I told Todd, I was like, "This is what's going on," and he was freaking out, and he was like, because it was late at night, he goes, "Call me at 3:30 in the morning and let me know that you can talk." And I was like, but I wasn't nervous and I wasn't upset about it. I just knew that I could just rest. It almost, I don't want to say like there was a cost associated with it, but
it kind of is.
It kind of is, yeah. So,
I mean, it's not like she said. It's not the cost of it, but it's like it's such an energy drain for me. And like the couple of times that I've intentionally tried channeling. One, I was holding a lady's hand, and she said that she could feel the temperature change on my hand, but her mom wanted to touch her, and I couldn't it was so hard for me to let go enough so that she could touch Teresa, but my finger went numb. And so my finger was like rubbing her hand, and that was the only place that I would let her mom come in. And then all of a sudden it was like somebody snapped the rubber band back and it was gone. And she was like she was no longer touching her. But she got to touch her, and that's what she wanted to do. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I was like, I don't know how to fix that. But Rachel's so much better at that than I am. And because like fear will just wreck your world, you know. And so I just go, okay, well, I'll be here for you. I'll listen to Amos Moses, and we'll make sure that you're okay.
abort the mission.
I got a feeling that you're going to be dragged into stuff.
Shit! Are you kidding
I know.
me?
I told her.
You're going to be so comfortable with it by the time it's like it's going to become second nature to you, and you're just like, I didn't choose this path.
Just yesterday,
can't put the ghost on me. I mean,
not she, but I've been thinking of adventures, you know. And then I was like, I got this one that we might go do, and I said, I don't think you're going to do it. And then she's like, how do you know I'm not going to do it? And I was like, hey, let me tell you. She goes, no, I ain't doing that. And I'm like, I know.
I opened up to it after a minute.
Yeah.
Because then we were like, well, we need to invite the Fringe Toast guys, and we need to like invite Gretchen. And I was like, okay, so see, we're getting some more, we're getting some bigger numbers here. I feel a little bit more comfortable.
Because everybody does have their specialty, and I guess it is maybe their fear that blocks what they do see. I guess y'all are hearing stuff?
No, I was just wondering what my specialty was.
Yeah, well, whatever you're blocking, probably.
Communication.
Probably whatever you're blocking.
Oh, really?
So, like, you know, I can do things, she can do things, and then Gretchen can do things, like how she's talking about with the names. And then so, you know, I just don't want people to think that if you're psychic or you're intuitive or you have that gut feeling that they know everything, you know, because that's not true.
And see, the reason why I say that about the names is because I've called my grandmother, like, her first name, her middle name. I've called her the name that I had for her. And she responds to the name that I had for her, but she doesn't respond to the others.
Yeah, because that would make sense. That's not their name.
Yeah. And so I was like, is that not what you want to be called? Is that not where you're at? I mean, like, I don't know. And so then I just go, okay, well, I know who this is. I don't know what you want to be called. So I just, you know, and it's like that lady that I always see with you. Like, I want to call her Bridget just because I feel like she's really Celtic, but I don't think that that's her name. Okay. You know, I just think that she's Bridget. I mean, and I don't, and I guess it's because I always think of, you know, Celtic women as Bridget. I mean, I'm not trying to be weird. I'm really not. You know.
You're just putting your experiences with your database.
Yeah.
Your database with your experiences.
Oh my gosh, but your wife has a couple of new guides since she decided to open up this part of herself.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of stuff going on in the house now, so I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's going to have a great herb garden.
I'm trying to get her to get one. I don't know if we're talking about the same herbs, but I'm definitely trying to get her to get one.
No, but no, she's going to have a fantastic herb garden. She's going to have a really good time with that.
She's been wanting to do one, so I'm going to tell her that.
Okay.
Actually, I'll let her listen. No, she doesn't listen to any of this. I'll just tell her.
Okay.
Love you, baby, but you're never going to listen to any of this.
Well,
I know
you really
you're not.
need to invite her to this new moon ritual. We're not really sure what we're going to do or where we're going to do it.
Is this going to be happening like every time, or are you just test driving this for?
I guess test driving is a good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just test for right now, maybe on a regular basis.
I think we should for every season because there's a lot of different things that you could do.
Yeah.
But not every moon because that'd be a lot.
Right. So, do you have anything else that you'd like to bring to the table?
Not at the moment.
And anything from y'all? Anything else that you'd like to talk about?
It's just so much fun hanging out with y'all.
No, thank y'all very, very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. You've been a wonderful guest, and you've been very supportive of our show, and we will continue to be supportive of your show as well. As a matter of fact, our shows, multiple shows. Rachel has a show, Answers from Beyond, that happens Monday nights. Then you guys have a podcast that is pre-recorded, but it is distributed on Tuesday nights on their channel. Then you guys have a live stream on Thursday nights that is on the Spirit Realm Network and also on their Facebook page, soon to be exclusively on spiritrealm.net.
Yes, but
Yeah.
I think we're going to put it still on either our YouTube channel or our Facebook page. Like, if we can stream it into those places, you know, at the same time.
Okay. Well,
So
that's fantastic. And then you also do a show occasionally solo, individually, where you have almost like a kitchen deal.
yes, I wanted to do like a kind of kitchen witch class, but people think when you're talking about kitchen witch that you're actually cooking. I mean, even some people
Yeah.
in the business.
Cooking eggs and talking about ghosts.
I know. And I'm like, not quite. So what I decided to call it was, with Rachel's help and some numerology, metaphysical practices, so
Okay.
that you can see like all the different rituals and the different practices and the different things that you can do out there. And the first thing I did was cook. I made full moon bread.
I remember you seeing you in the kitchen. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't really.
Yeah, and because I do make full moon bread because it's time to be grateful, you know, be that gratitude, and then it's also a time for me to enjoy carbs. So, no. And then I did infusions, and then I've just talked about different practices like last time was Tree of Life, but I do it the Friday before the new moon and the Friday before the full moon. So that way, they can work on those things and do it for themselves during that full moon or that new moon.
Excellent. Well, what all platforms can they find you on? We know I got Facebook, YouTube. You guys are beginning to work a little bit on Instagram. They also have a TikTok. So you guys can find all of those links in the description box down below if you're watching the video here. If you're just listening to the audio, please go to fringetoast.com. We will have a specific page where this will be published at, and you can find all that stuff there as well.
Well, thanks to you guys, we're on Spreaker.
Oh.
Yeah, we're on SoundCloud and Spreaker and iTunes, but yeah, you guys introduced us to Spreaker last year, and I was like,
Oh, speaking of which, I'm wrapping up prematurely, but I wanted to talk about the last visit that we were here a little bit, and talk about, because you guys did readings for us, like all three of you, and there was there's been some stuff that came to fruition that correlated with that. So
I know you're looking at me.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're looking at me. Yeah,
Because
I was a dumbass and didn't listen. I know.
But like you said, you needed that experience.
I did, but I could have saved myself a lot of money if I'd listened. Like I did the whole real estate thing, did the test. I was amazing at the whole study. I passed my test the first time. I fucking suck at real estate. I'm horrible. I quit in like 3 months. I'm not doing this. This is horrible. First time I got cussed out by somebody, I'm like, I'm done. Nope. Calling somebody to try to help them buy a house and they're cussing me out. I'm like, nope.
So what
Never
have you
again.
decided to do?
I'm calling it my corporate sponsor, but I'm a what is it called? A service technician for the company my wife works for.
No, I'm talking about like what's
Well,
your
that's-
real job? What's your
That's
dream job?
paying the bills and allowing me to do I started a production company on my own.
and did you?
And I
just
did
shoot
my
a
first commercial
great
actually
new
for the
commercial?
place we're sitting in right now.
Right?
And it was a lot of fun. So that's what I should have been doing instead of spending the $1,500 on real estate, is buying cameras and equipment.
It's okay. It's nice to have a safety net that you never touch. You know, it's
Never
good.
gonna touch. I
Right.
told the broker that. I'm like, I will never come back. Don't worry, you can let me go. I will never do this again, ever. Never.
So, do we have permission? Can we show the commercial here on our channel on Fringe Toast? Can we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end it with showing you guys
Well-
our. Okay.
Don't you guys want another reading?
Absolutely.
We're
Let's do
running
it.
out of power, so we may not want to do that today.
Okay. Well, or maybe just not on camera.
Yeah, we can do it not on camera.
Okay.
We are running out of power
Enjoy
over
the
here.
commercial. First one from Doom Kitty Productions. You guys take it easy. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys. If the vibes are just off, or if you know Mercury's in retrograde, don't suffer alone. Come into Realistic Holistic, your local witchy metaphysical store. Get that perfect crystal to cast your first spell. Talk to our knowledgeable staff to go from Baby Witch to Stevie Nicks. No need for a scrying crystal to find us. We are located in downtown Villa Rica.